Our modern world runs on trade. The phone in your hand, the coffee in your cup, the car you drive, parts of them, or all of them, traveled across an ocean to get to you. This vast network of global commerce is the lifeblood of our economy. It connects countries, creates jobs, allows us to enjoy products from every corner of the globe. The backbone of this entire system is the ocean. Huge cargo ships, some stretching longer than 4 football fields. However, these ships cannot simply sail anywhere they please. There are specific, narrow passageways that ships must use. These are known as maritime choke points. Think of them as the major arteries of the world's circulatory system. A blockage in one of these critical arteries can have immediate and catastrophic consequences, disrupting supply chains, sending prices soaring for everyone. These 7 straits are the fragile links in our global supply chain. First, let's look at the Strait of Malacca. This is a narrow stretch of water located between Malaysia, Singapore, and the Indonesian island of Sumatra. It is the shortest sea route connecting the Indian Ocean to the Pacific Ocean. Its location makes it one of the busiest and most important shipping lanes on the planet. About 1/3 of all global shipping passes through the Strait of Malacca each year. That includes a staggering quarter of all the world's traded oil, primarily destined for the energy-hungry markets of China, Japan, and South Korea. A closure of the Strait of Malacca would force ships to reroute, adding thousands of miles and weeks to their journeys. Next, we turn to the Strait of Hormuz. This strait is located between Iran and Oman, and it is the only sea passage from the Persian Gulf to the open ocean. This makes it arguably the single most important choke point for the world's energy supply. The vast majority of oil produced by Middle Eastern giants like Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Qatar, and Kuwait must pass through this narrow waterway. At its narrowest point, the shipping lane is only 2 miles wide in each direction. About 20% of the entire world's petroleum consumption passes through this strait daily. Any disruption here could send global oil prices skyrocketing, triggering a worldwide economic crisis. The constant political friction in the region, particularly involving Iran, means the Strait of Hormuz remains a potential flashpoint where a local conflict could have immediate and devastating global consequences. The Suez Canal is a man-made marvel in Egypt. It is a 120-mile-long artificial waterway that connects the Mediterranean Sea to the Red Sea. Before it was built, ships traveling between Europe and Asia had to make the incredibly long and dangerous journey around the entire continent of Africa. The canal changed everything, creating a direct and much faster route. It handles about 12% of all global trade by volume, including consumer goods, grain, liquefied natural gas. A blockage, like the one caused by the container ship Ever Given in 2021, can bring a significant portion of world trade to a standstill. That single incident was estimated to have held up nearly $10 billion in trade for each day it was stuck. Just south of the Suez Canal is another critical choke point, the Bab-el-Mandeb Strait. This strait connects the Red Sea to the Gulf of Aden. It is located between Yemen, Djibouti, and Eritrea. Any ship using the Suez Canal to travel between the Indian Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea must also pass through the Bab-el-Mandeb. This makes the 2 choke points a linked system. A disruption in one directly affects the other. Its proximity to the ongoing conflict in Yemen has made it a dangerous area. Houthi rebels have targeted commercial vessels and military vessels in the past, because a large percentage of Europe's energy supplies and Asia-bound goods pass through this 18-mile-wide strait. Any instability here poses a direct threat to the economic security of multiple continents, making it a focal point for international naval patrols. On the other side of the world, we have the Panama Canal. This is another incredible feat of engineering that cuts through the Isthmus of Panama, connecting the Atlantic and Pacific. For ships traveling between the east and the west coasts of the Americas, the canal is, honestly, a game-changer. Without it, vessels would be forced to take the long and treacherous route around Cape Horn at the southern tip of South America. The Panama Canal is especially vital for trade between the United States and Asia. Many of the goods manufactured in China and other Asian countries destined for the U.S. East Coast pass through this waterway. In recent years, challenges have emerged. Climate change has led to lower water levels in the lakes that feed the canal's lock system. This has forced the Panama Canal Authority to restrict the number of ships that can pass through each day, creating a backlog. Now, let's turn our attention to Europe and the Danish Straits. This is not a single strait, but a series of 3 channels. The Øresund, the Great Belt, and the Little Belt that connect the Baltic Sea to the North Sea. They are the only maritime gateway for Baltic countries like Finland, Poland, and the Baltic states to access the world's oceans. The Danish Straits are particularly important for Russian oil exports. A significant volume of oil from Russia's Baltic ports travels through these narrow waterways. This makes the Straits a point of geopolitical sensitivity, especially given current tensions between Russia and the West. Finally, we have the Turkish Straits, the Dardanelles, the Sea of Marmara, and the Bosphorus. This series of waterways connects the Black Sea to the Mediterranean Sea. The Bosphorus Strait, in particular, is one of the world's narrowest and most congested shipping lanes, running directly through the heart of Istanbul, a city of over 15 million people. The Turkish Straits are the only maritime outlet for Black Sea countries like Ukraine, Romania, Bulgaria, and Georgia. They are especially crucial for the export of grain and oil from both Ukraine and Russia. The recent war in Ukraine has highlighted the immense strategic importance of this choke point. These 7 choke points, Malacca, Hormuz, Suez, Bab-el-Mandeb, Panama, the Danish Straits, and the Turkish Straits, are the fragile arteries of our globalized world. They are more than just lines on a map. A political conflict, a terrorist attack, a shipping accident, or even an environmental issue can shut one down in an instant. Our reliance on them is a silent vulnerability in our interconnected world. These straits are a powerful reminder that in our modern world, we are all connected. The stability of these choke points is essential for global trade and for maintaining peace.